Hey, what's up, y'all? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our FTB Skies Expert Let's Play. So, in today's episode, we have a problem between us and the next tier of space. We need substrate, like lots of it, on a renewable generation. We need substrate in large quantity, and that's what we're going to get into today. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, so here we are. Substrate is going to be quite the convoluted process for us. Now, we need substrate for a couple of reasons. We need it because we need it for volatile substrate, which is used in a bunch of stuff. This here. We use it in our energizing thing. Well, not a bunch, but two pretty big things. The flux-infused ingots and the flux-infused gems. Those are for making our magnet upgrades and other such things. We can make actually a lot out of this here, but we're going to need it for the uranium crystals. So we need to get it going because we've got to have that for our uranium crystals that we were working on getting towards the last time. But the other half of this equation is the substrate. So here's what I've come up with. We're going to take a phytogenic insulator and we're going to put watermelon in it, which we got to go make some watermelon seeds at the old base in our mana pool, in our alchemy doohickey, whatever that is, the alchemist stone, the sorcerer's stone, whatever, the doohickey with the thingamabob. All right, so over here, where is it? This thing, conjuration catalyst. Is that what it's called? This one. So if we throw in beetroot, we get out melon. And the reason we want melon is you get 9 melon slices each time you grow a melon if you break it down. So we have a multi-servo press and an unpacking mold. We're going to come right out of the phytogenic insulator into the multi-servo press with the unpacking mold. We're going to put a drawer with a void upgrade on the side of the phytogenic insulator for the melon seeds because we don't need those continually coming back into our storage. And then it's going to go on from there. We're going to have to set up electrolytic separator and a couple of other things. But yeah, so let's go back and get started on this. These are the things you guys don't see, is I just spent 10 minutes sitting here thinking, okay, where do I put my ender tank that's going to provide water? Because I'm going to need water into the electrolytic separator. I'm going to need water into the phytogenic insulator, and I'm going to need water into the pressurized reaction chamber for both of the crafts. And then I'm going to need stuff from all of these and all the other things. Oh my gosh, what do I do? That was how I just spent like the last 10 minutes was trying to figure it out. So in times like these, I've found that it's best to just slap a block down and start on it, and you'll figure it out eventually. And you may have to tear it apart and redo it, but that is what it is. So we're going to need some pipes. That should go without saying. We got a bunch of stuff that needs fluids. So we'll just put the water back there in the back. And then for now, let's go ahead and set this to pull. And the phytogenic insulator is going to need water, and then it is going to need to output down into the multi-servo press, which is then going to need to go into the pressurized reaction chamber with other stuff. So why don't we just make a tower of power over here? Let's just stack it up. Something like this. That look good? All right, so if we go, do we need to go one more just to make sure we got enough room? I think this will be good. Let's go with our phytogenic insulator at the top. And it is going to need a cyclic upgrade and an enderium upgrade. And then it's going to get the melon seeds, which I'm going to take out most of them. Underneath it, we're going to need the multi-servo press. And you are going to take in items from the top and nope. You are going to need to be able to take input from the back for your water. There you go. This one doesn't need the water. So actually, we could put this off to the side. Let's go on this side. So then we can actually tell this to take in from the right auto input enabled, and then we can set auto output to the left and to the right. Or actually, let's go top. Okay, and then we're going to need to get some power going over here. So how do I want to do that? How do I want to bring power over here? I would really like to get some energy transfer nodes going over on this side. All right, y'all, running around is getting tiring at the new base. I've got to get some teleportation blocks in to get around places. I'm like, my legs are tired, for gosh sakes. Okay, how am I going to get power to both of these machines if I don't have an energy transfer node? I don't know, Wooly. How are you going to do that? That's a good question, Wooly. I should probably just take the time now and set one up. Let's go here. Let's put you on Big Wooly. And then we're going to put you on bypass limit. Cool. And then we need a energy transfer node. These? Yep. Would you look at there? We had everything we needed. Sweet. So then if we put this right here, and now I can just GPS data card up this setup. Yeah. And then we'll clear this one out for now. Okay. So there we have it. Now we've got power to both these machines. This thing can make us some melon. The unpacking die goes in the multi-servo press. And then now it is going to need to feed its items into the pressurized reaction chamber, which is going to need water. Pressurized reaction chamber, you are going to clear configs and you're going to take item input from the top. And you are going to output to the bottom, auto output. Right? Why are you not taking them? You go in there, right? Oh, no. They have to go through another multi-servo press, right? To get turned into biofuel? No, maybe not. It is a crusher. Has to go through a crusher. I've forgotten a machine. Please hold while I make another crusher. Yep, I just put all that in and forgot to unpause. So yeah, the crusher we just stuck right under the multi-servo press there. We've got the press auto outputting to the bottom. Crusher's taken in from the top, and it's outputting to the right into our pressurized reaction chamber. So now we have our water and our biofuel, which then needs, what is it? Hydrogen from an electrolytic separator in one side. So I do believe that if I were to put down my electrolytic separator and I want to clear the gases, I could then put it underneath and hopefully we can get the right one to go into the top. It's also going to need power, so let's get that going. This is so nice because then I don't have to worry about a face for the power. So hydrogen needs to go to the up. So you are going to take inside input gases. You can in from the bottom input, okay? And then you are going to gases output hydrogen up to the top. And that should make substrate. So now we need to get, is it ethylene, I believe, into here? Right? Let's go see. For our last step. So the byproduct of this is ethylene. And we need to get that ethylene and the substrate into another pressurized reaction chamber with water. So if we come over here with that, and we take our other pressurized reaction chamber. Oh God, not there. We put it there. It's going to need power too. So there we go. And then you are going to take, let's clear your items. You're going to take items in on the left. This one needs to tell it to output items to the right, and eject is on. So now we have our water and our substrate, and we just need ethylene in here. So you can also output ethylene, which, is that a gaseous? Yes, that's gas. So gases to the right, you can output. And the reason we're doing that is this ethylene with our water and the substrate is going to multiply the one substrate we get into 8. So this is going to ramp up our ability to make substrate. And the glorious thing about this little setup is this whole thing, here, let me tell this to dump the excess. This whole setup, this little plus sign, is self-contained. It needs nothing else. These things that need the water have the water, and the rest of it is all self-contained, because the cyclic upgrade in here, this is going to just grow melons forever at a slow rate, but that doesn't matter because we're multiplying our output over here by 8. So this will eventually back up. So what we could do is we could tie this into a drawer. We can probably put a drawer controller extension down, or 2 of them, to extend the range of our drawer controllers so that we could just have drawers over here. I'm going to have to take a look at that because I've never used those. But either way, for right now, what we can do... Oh, I haven't dealt with the seeds, although... Does the cyclic one... I don't think the cyclic one kills the seeds. So we need to get a drawer up there for seeds, and we need a drawer over here for our substrate. So let's grab those. 2 drawers we need. So one of them is going to go there, and one of them is going to go there. This one we need to tell you, oh, look, speaking of seeds, you can output to the right. And auto output is on. And then that should pump a seed in there. And then if I come and grab a void upgrade, this will, oh God, no, we don't want melon in there. We'll need to lock it once we get the seed in there. Hold on. Seed. There we go. Linking. Nope. We need locking. Config tool. All right. So that one is locked. It will be the output for our melon seed, which now should disappear after this cycle. There we go. So anytime it gets seeds, it's just going to dump them in there. Once there's 2,000 of them, it'll void the rest. Over here, this one should already be outputting the substrate, or didn't give it an output? Okay, so you can output to the right, and there we go. So now we have substrate being automatically made endlessly for us. It just needs power. As long as the power doesn't go out, we will have as much substrate as we need. Let's get a couple storage upgrades in there. I mean, well, I don't know about a couple. Let's do one for starters and see. So what is one of, yeah, 65,000 should be enough for now. So that's going to run. Now that is huge because that was the biggest hurdle on all of our PTFE production that we set up last time, a couple episodes ago at the old base, was the getting these HDPE sheets. So this process is actually going to be able to be expanded upon even further. The next step is to get liquid ethylene, which we're already making at our other setup. So what I probably ought to do is I ought to go tear that other setup down and bring it over here. And let's see if we can't get this little contraption right here to build us a buffer of substrate in that drawer, and to also be making us our HDPE sheets and ultimately the PFTE that we need for the next tier of rocket. So, because that's, the sooner we get this going, the sooner I can start the crazy math again on how much we're going to need to go to our next destination. So give me a minute to go break all that down, come up with a game plan, and we'll continue on. Not gonna lie, y'all, tearing that setup down was nerve-wracking. I was like, man, I think this took me like a whole evening to figure out before, but I did it. I broke it all down and stuck it in my pocket. So there was a lot more than I remembered being there. So that's gonna make it interesting. But let's see if we can't get done what I said we were going to get done. So we can go about it a couple ways, but I think the right way to do it is going to be painful. So give me a minute to look at all of these machines, go through all the processes that I had set up over there so that I can figure out how we can put it on this side. And I will be right with you. Oh boy, what did I get myself into? Okay, y'all. That took way longer than I think it should have to sort out, but I was just trying to figure out if I could eliminate machines to get us to where I wanted to get to in today's episodes. So we needed over here to be able to make the sulfur trioxide, because that sulfur trioxide needs to be combined with water vapor to form the sulfuric acid that we need for this other step. And so I actually came up with a much better way of utilizing a single electrolytic separator here. It's actually outputting oxygen to two sides, but since this machine will back up and shut off eventually, I don't think we're ever going to be at a rate of generation that this is not going to be able to keep up. And if it can't, we can upgrade the machines to, try and see if that will allow it to keep up. So we're outputting oxygen into our chemical infuser, which is getting the sulfur dioxide from the same setup as before. Sulfur into a crusher, into here. I added GPS data cards for all these, which I had to make a pyrolyzer for to make more charcoal to make my data cards, but that's fine because that got all of these machines here powered up. And now we have our rotary condensator from the other setup over here, making our water vapor, conveniently off the same tower of water that we put up the middle there. And then the next and final step is the chemical, well, not the final, but the next step in this one is the chemical infuser here. And we want to make sure that its faces are, it's full, so that'll help. So since it has stuff in all the buffers, we can put it down and then we can say, all right, your water vapor, which is a gas, you are going to get that from the bottom, which is cool. That's where you're already getting it from. And your sulfur trioxide, you're going to get from the top instead now, because that's where we're making it, is right above. Then we need to tell this one that it can output to the bottom, which I already did. This one's going to take the sulfur, sulfur trioxide. Yes, that's what I told it, right? Gases, you are going to take the input from the top. Yes, and then our output, our sulfuric acid, which is not a liquid, it's a gas. It's set to output to the front for right now, and that is what we need to go with our HDPE sheets, if I remember correctly. No, it's not, Wooly. It's totally not. We need hydrofluoric acid, I think is why we're going down this route. All right, and the sulfuric acid is needed for making the hydrofluoric. Hold on, we'll get there, I promise. It's so complicated. Hydrofluoric acid. Aha, that was why we needed it. So we need to feed this sulfuric acid into a chemical dissolution chamber with fluorite. That's where we need to go next. So chemical dissolution chamber with fluorite. So the fluorite's going to come from an enrichment chamber here. And then from an enrichment chamber here, and we're going to put the fluorite dust in a chest underneath it. So you clear your sides, you are going to input from the bottom, and you are going to output to the left with auto eject on. Okay, so let's put a temporary drawer there so that we remember we need to put something down there. And that's going to be for the fluorite dust. Okay, and so that is going to get us our fluorite, which needs to be combined with sulfuric acid in the chemical dissolution chamber here. Okay, now you should be full too. All right, so we can place you up here where we want you. You're going to take your fluorite in from right there, and you're going to get your sulfuric acid from the left. So that's a gas. We're going to clear it, and you're going to take in from the left. And then items, we're going to clear, and you're going to take those in from the back. Okay, and then your output, hydrofluoric acid, is that a gas? What is it? So it is a gas. So we need to output our hydrofluoric acid into a pressurized reaction chamber with liquid methane and our HDPE sheets. Okay, so, those are over here. HDPE sheets are over here. This is here. And it needs to be in the, which one? It needs to be in another pressurized reaction chamber? Are we a pressurized reaction chamber short? How did that happen? Nope, it's in my backpack. All right, you are, okay, you're clear. So if we put you there, you're going to take your hydrofluoric acid in from the top, which is a gas. Top. And then you're going to need to get this stuff, the liquid methane, from somewhere. We'll just put it in front of you for now. So you are going to input fluid from the front. There we go. This liquid methane we have a setup for that I briefly covered, but we'll move it over into the automation station. Oh, I put in some travel. So we have automation station, we have AE2 things, and we have storage back there so far. Those are our three travel anchors for getting around the base so far. All right, so now you have the two inputs that you need, except for you need the, whatchamacallit, you need these HDPE sheets. How do I get these from here to over here? I'm thinking maybe we could use one more cyclic thing that we've only used a couple times. We could use the item transfer node to send it wirelessly from here. I'll have it auto eject, and then we can pump them into this block. That would be cool. That would be a good use. Do we have an item transfer node? Item transfer, we do. So if we took this and we put it right here, and we tell you that you can output to the bottom and auto eject is on, this should be filling with HDPE sheets. Awesome. Now, if we take this and stick it in here, is it going to work? Boy, this is a slow process. Make some speed upgrades for this thing. It sent it. Because it's full again and there's no other way it could get in there. Let's watch it happen. Heck yeah. See it flash. Sweet. So now we have our PFTE sheets. And the last thing for these is to stick them in a magma crucible so we can get our polytetrafluoroethylene that we need and have it be automatically generated so we can get our space plating made. I will bring this other setup over, and that is about the only external source that I think we need. Where is the gas sulfuric acid is coming from? You're getting that. and you are sulfuric acid, and it goes into here. Okay, which you'll feed down into there, which you're not. Okay, so you need to eject gases, output to the bottom. There we go. So now you're full again. Sweet. That gets us almost where we need to be. Now the last step is, where is that magma crucible we had? Did we have a dedicated one for this? I know I have a magma crucible in my bag though, so let's just toss it down. It's already set to auto input from the left, which is what we'll need. So if we stick this right here, and then we tell you items clear, and you can eject to the right, auto eject on. When that next one finishes, this does need an input. Item input, let's go with front. There we have it. Oh wait, why are you outputting to the back? There we go. That does it. All we gotta do is put that polytetrafluoroethylene on a tank or an ender tank, and we can use it wherever we need to, or we can put it on an import bus on our AE2 in the next one. But that's fully automated for us. I think with the exception of this fluorite dust, which I should be able to do like an item transfer on an export bus or something, and then I could send it straight into here. That'd be a great use of these. Oh my gosh, set these up on an export bus over by your storage, and then you can just send an item, one particular item, wherever you want in the same dimension. That's actually really nice. No pipes at all. Pretty cool. So we'll get this brought over here, our liquid methane, but this is going to need to run to accumulate us some PFTE. It is not outputting, though, is it? Does one of these disappear when it finishes crafting? No, it doesn't. Why are you not outputting? Items config. Output to the right. Config. Oh, I had it on output instead of input. Duh. How many of y'all saw that? Alright, so there we go. If you set it right and tell it auto input enabled and there, then your items come over like they're supposed to. So there we have it. That was all progress on working more towards these Ostrom space plating blocks. We need a ton of the Ostrom space plating, as we have with all the others, and this was one of the last things we're going to need to get into. We're going to need a better source for the osmium infused stuff. We're going to have to automate our osmium that we've never really automated before, so we're going to need to get that automation of osmium done in the next episode. Let's toss that on the clipboard while we're here together. Oh, substrate, we did that, right? Isn't that what it's called? Osmium infused Ostrom. So we need to automate this osmium production, which we have a lot of the pieces kind of done. We just have never tied it all in. And then the Ostrom ingots, we've got that coming in from bees. We need to do something about power. Power is getting kind of dire. We're going to have to generate more power in order to be able to smelt through our bee production of our Ostrom and our Desh. So those are things that we need to get into in the next episode. Better power. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this though. This was a whole lot of episode that happened right there. Yeah. we'd already done part of it, but I didn't really do it on camera with you before, and I didn't really do all of it on camera with you this time, but I hope between the two, you're able to figure out that monstrosity of machines I got back there. But that's what it takes. That little tower of power right there is what it takes to make one of the components for our next tier of space plating. So it's quite the doozy, but I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys are too. If you are, smash that like button for me. And if you find yourself coming back and you haven't hit that subscribe button, would you please hit it for me? It'll help, and I will appreciate it. So we will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.